Welcome back to another podcast of Dirt, Grit, and Stupid Shit, the adventures in real estate. And you're already laughing. We haven't even started. Like, what the shit? All right, y'all. So listen, I have a special guest on the podcast today. Her name's Amanda Boudreaux. She's with Keller Williams here in Dental Springs. So, Amanda, why don't you introduce yourself to the people that are listening and tell them a little bit about yourself first.
All right. My name is Amanda Boudreaux. I'm the associate broker at Keller Williams Realty Premier Partners here in Denham Springs.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in real estate for 7 years. I have 3 kids and married, live in Watson. Been there for a while, originally from Houma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why we good friends, because we both from down the bayou.
That's right, down there, the Thibodeau, down in the Greg, and my last name Richard. Don't get me to talking Cajun French. No one will understand it, but go ahead.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah? Well, that's good. So, in your 7 years, I'm sure you've seen some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, what people don't realize is that, and I always say this in this podcast, is, we represent sellers and buyers, and we bring them together, and we get paid for it. That's what everybody thinks. That's just that easy, when it's not. There's a lot of things that happen during, and then there's a lot of things that happen after. So you and I, we can start off with this one. You and I, we had a deal together, and that one was crazy.
It was crazy.
That was a long one, but we got through it, and we made all of it come together, and it sold. What do you think was the craziest thing in the beginning, not after the sale? Because, see, things still happen after the sale, right? What do you think the craziest thing was that we both went through?
I think the most craziest thing was finding out about the private road maintenance agreement that had to be done, and then having to basically door knock on the neighbors' doors and be like, hey, will you agree to manage this road with my buyers so that we can sell this house?
Yeah, and people don't realize that. They go out, they find a house, and then they're like, is this a private road or a public road? And then if it's a private road, you've got to have some type of management agreement in place, right? Piece of paper saying everybody on this private road is going to take care of what? This damn road. So that was really fun. I'll never forget that. Me and you, we went up and down the street, knocking on the doors to get people to agree that, hey, this is a private road and we need everybody that lives on this road. What was it, like 11 of them? Maybe?
I don't remember exactly how many people it was, but luckily, remember, I ended up knowing someone, another veteran friend of mine and my buyer, 'cause we were all veterans, and we were looking at the plat maps and the tax records to figure out who we needed to talk to. And I was like, oh my gosh, we actually know someone that we served with that also lives on this road. Neither one of us knew that he lived there. So we're like, okay, well, that's one. We know for sure he'll agree. I don't remember how many people we had to have sign.
Now, you said veteran. What do you mean?
We all served in the military together.
Can you repeat that again? What'd you do?
We all served in the military together.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So you're a veteran, and what service were you?
I was Army, Louisiana National Guard, and I was a truck driver.
A what?
Truck driver.
A truck driver.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, I didn't know that. I knew you were a veteran. I knew you served the country. I didn't know you was a truck driver too at one time. So that's good to see that all paid off, because I believe the people that I was a listing agent, you were the buyer's agent.
Right.
I believe they were veterans too.
They were,
because you service a lot of people, veterans, and help them with the VA loan. So see, we just explained that we service veterans, but you went above and beyond, and I went with you to get people to sign that paperwork so that your veteran could buy that house.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And then there was a lot of driving in there too. We had to go down to the parish to order the water well test. And then I had to drive to AME to go get the kit.
And this piece of property that we're talking about is in Livingston Parish, which is where we're sitting at today, which is located, guys, right outside of Baton Rouge. But you had to go to AME, total different parish, to get the water well tested. It was a really crazy time. I do know one thing that I did learn, and I always tell people I've been in this business. This is my 25th year, and that doesn't mean I know it all. But I learned something from you.
You learned about the street signs.
I learned about the street sign. What the hell? You got a red sign in the parish of Livingston means what?
That it's a private road.
So if you're driving down the street here, folks, and you're driving around in Livingston Parish and you see a red sign, that means it's a
private road.
Which means it doesn't get serviced. Does it get serviced by the fire department too? No.
Oh, I mean, the fire department will respond to calls there, yes. But it means that the parish does not maintain that road.
Okay.
Yep. And usually you'll find that they're either gravel or dirt roads like the one that we did.
Oh, yeah, the ones that the potholes were bigger than my truck. Yeah, that was true.
Yeah,
I mean, we had some potholes bigger than a truck, that's for sure. And I just drive a full-size Dodge, so it was pretty hectic. But we got it done.
We did.
And thank God. I mean, but that's what it takes. And people don't realize that just because you're a licensed agent and you get these clients and you turn them into your friends, that's what I've always done. It doesn't mean it's going to be an easy task. There's going to be some things that you come across, and we had to physically get out there and do our thing to make everything come together, you know? So that was a crazy one we did together. Tell me if you've experienced anything else. Have you ever experienced ghosts? People say there's ghosts in a house. I mean, come on.
So I've never personally experienced ghosts. I try not. I believe, but then I try to convince myself that I don't believe, so I don't freak myself out. But I do have one creepy story.
Oh no!
I went to show a house in Prairieville.
Okay, now where's Prairieville, so the listeners will know what that's at.
Prairieville is outside of Baton Rouge, but on the opposite side from where Denham is. So Baton Rouge, Gonzales, Prairieville area.
What parish is
off
that?
Of
Ascension Parish.
Yeah, Ascension Parish. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of business in Prairieville, so if my clients want to go to Prairieville, we'll go.
Right.
But I'm not like super familiar with the area. So I'm showing a house in Prairieville. It was a referral from a past client, investor client that had an investor friend, and he was interested in this property. This house was built in the 1800s.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Go ahead.
So maybe it was haunted. But so we get there. I get there early. And as soon as I pull into the driveway, I lose cell phone service.
Now, wait a second.
Yes. And now this house is in a normal area. It's not like a neighborhood. It's a little more rural, but there are houses right next door.
Prairieville's not as rural as Livingston Parish where we're sitting at.
Yeah.
It's definitely not rural.
Right. But so it's off this street, off the main highway. So, I mean, I'm not like in the country. There are houses. I could probably yell and the neighbor would hear me. I could see the neighbor's house. So it was just very weird that I pull in the driveway and lose cell phone service. So I pull up and there's a horseshoe gravel driveway. So I pull up and I'm parking facing out.
Right.
I go around and I'm parking facing out and I'm watching the road and I'm waiting for this potential buyer to come. And I look over in my rearview mirror.
Uh-oh.
And there is a window above the door, right? Like a little tiny rectangle window.
Like a transom like they have in New Orleans?
And yes, this house was very New Orleans style. Okay. It was raised off the ground and everything. I could literally park my car under it.
Oh, raised. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So I don't even know why, but I just looked back in the mirror and something white caught my eye up above the door in the window above the door.
What's that ghost?
No, I don't think it was a ghost.
What was it?
I don't know. I couldn't make it out. It definitely looked like a face, but it was much too white to be a actual face. It looked like a mask, like a Mardi Gras mask, or
that would probably go with like the 1800 transom window that looks New Orleans style. Okay, I'm with you. Go ahead.
So I keep looking back, and it's there, and I'm like, well, maybe there's like a fan or something on the other side, right on the inside when you walk. Something. Yeah. Like. So the potential buyer gets there. We get out. We go inside. And right as we walk in, I'm looking up. Trying to figure out.
That white mask?
It's gone. It's gone.
So there was nothing on the inside?
There was nothing on the inside. Nothing anywhere remotely close to the front door that would have given this off. Okay, so automatically I'm like, this is kind of weird. We walk the house. There's no power on downstairs. It's a 2-story house. We walk the house. There's no power on. I'm thinking winterized because it's an auction foreclosure house up for sale by the bank. No power, no water.
Ugh.
Okay, no lights, nothing. So we're walking through. We go upstairs. These stairs are very old. They're wooden. They're super steep. I forgot to mention, I'm like 7 months pregnant with my second child.
Okay.
So we get upstairs. The lights are on.
No. You said foreclosure, bank owned.
Yeah.
Wait.
Winterized.
Let me get this in. Let me paint this picture in my head. 2-story.
2-story house.
2-story. Already pier and beam off the ground where you could drive under
Yeah.
it. So you already had to go up a lot of stairs
Yeah.
to get to the second story. Then you're inside, no power, no lights, but you go up to the second story and there's lights?
Lights.
What the fuck?
Lights.
You serious?
Like, yeah. Dead serious. This is not like.
Okay.
So this is not a made up story.
Okay.
So we get upstairs, the lights are on. Downstairs there was no furniture, no nothing, right? No one's lived in this house for
It's vacant.
a very
It's
long time.
Foreclosure.
We get upstairs, there's garbage bags that are like ripped open.
Oh, you got the
There's,
homeless.
like,
You got a squatter in
yearbook
there.
pictures, yearbooks. There's all kinds of things in there that are like personal belongings that I wouldn't understand why anyone would leave behind.
Right. Well, I see that a lot too.
In the master bedroom off to the right, the lights were also on. And this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a house. The shower was as a stand-up shower, was in the master bedroom. The master bedroom had a master bathroom attached to it,
Okay.
but the shower was in the bedroom.
It wasn't off on its own in suite. You're telling me it was like in the center of the room?
It was right in the room, not in the center, but like on the center wall when you first walk in.
Okay.
To the right, there's the stand-in shower in the bedroom, not in
Where's
the bathroom.
On
Right
the
off to
side?
the side.
What's in the bathroom?
The toilet and a bathtub and a sink. It was a normal bathroom, but the stand-in shower was in the bedroom.
That don't make no sense, but go
It
ahead.
didn't, but it smelled like someone had just taken a shower. It smelled like fresh soap and
No.
the air, like someone had just taken a shower. So,
But the water's off.
yeah,
Electricity's off.
downstairs.
Y'all sure you wasn't in La La Land? What the hell?
I'm telling you, someone had just taken a shower, a nice hot shower. The room was still kind of steamy. You could feel it in the air. You could smell it. So the potential buyer walks into the attic access door, which is also in the master bedroom. And it's one of those small attic access doors. So he goes in, and not even 3 seconds later, he comes right back. He's like, okay, thank you. I've seen everything I need to see. Have a good day. And he bolts out the door
And left your ass upstairs?
and left me upstairs.
Pregnant?
Pregnant.
With supposedly no lights and no water?
Yeah.
The buyer, what was in that attic door? What was in there?
I don't know, because I didn't go.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
He didn't say a word to me. He just left. I mean, he was out the driveway before I even made it down the stairs with my pregnant self. So I get out. I lock up. I'm feeling kind of creeped out because I thought it was really weird.
I would have been creeped out when there was no power or electricity on and you're on the second
But,
floor.
you know, we've shown houses before that are winterized. There's no power. So it wasn't anything out the ordinary. And it was daytime, lots of lights, so we could see. But I thought it was kind of weird when we got upstairs and all of a sudden the lights are on, the water, someone just took a shower. It's very unusual.
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 Sounds crazy.
Very particular.
That
Very
just sounds
peculiar.
That sounds really nuts.
So, of course, as I mentioned, I don't have cell phone service on this property.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I leave. I look back in the mirror again when I get in my car to see if I see that white
Did you?
face. I did look, but there was nothing there. So that was just another peculiar little thing that happened while I was there. So I pull out, and as soon as I hit the street, my phone starts blowing up, right?
Really?
The buyer, my past client who had referred this potential buyer to me, is calling me. He's like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm just like, why would I not be okay?
Wait, the guy that bolted out the door's calling you?
No,
Okay.
the guy who referred the guy who bolted out.
the
So
referral.
my past client,
Don't tell me you had a serial killer or something.
I don't know what it was. So he calls me. He's like, are you okay? And I'm just like, why would I not be okay? But like, what's up with your friend? Because he like bolted out the door. He's
What'd
like,
he say?
there was someone in the attic. There was someone hanging out in the attic. So till to this day, I don't go in attics. I'm not going in the attic. If you want to go see what's in the attic, you can go. I'll wait here.
You know what? This is the first time us discussing this, and what I'm picturing is there's a person
crouching in the
attic.
Yeah.
You're a woman showing a man a property, and the man runs off, and you're pregnant, and you get a phone call saying, yo, the referral I sent you, he ran off. I don't know. It just, all that sounds crazy. I know we go through some crazy, crazy stuff. I really do. But man, I'd be scared shitless.
I was.
You know,
I mean, obviously I wasn't in the moment because I didn't realize that someone was in the attic. I did think it was weird that someone had just taken a shower. And of course, you know, I thought about squatters.
Well, you can think about squatters, you can think about homeless, and then, of course, we live in the state of Louisiana where murder does not have to be disclosed. We are the only state like that. Yeah, let me repeat that. We're the only state that does not have to disclose murder or death in the home.
Correct.
Okay? That's probably because we believe in voodoo. I didn't say I did. I said we, as in the state. So that's where I would get all them songs, you know, Marie Laveau, you know, all them crazy songs we come up with is the voodoo stuff. So that's nuts. I mean, but here's the good thing. I'm glad it didn't happen. Nothing happened to you. And because your buyer left you, a man ran out, and a pregnant woman's got to go, 1,000 feet down to the ground. You got no cell phone service. That's even nuttier.
It was crazy.
So to me, I was raised very different. So to me, that's just a spiritual world you were fighting. That's me talking, okay? I always believe there's evil versus good, and that's kind of where we're at in this world today. It just is what it is. Also, I think... I'm glad you told that story, but you gave me the creeps on it. Just wanted to let you know.
Well, some backstory on the house, which I found out later, is that the owner of the house just basically dropped off the face of the earth. No one knew what happened to him.
It's one of the Marie Laveau people, I'm telling you. And for you listeners that don't understand what Marie Laveau is, Google that, and you'll listen to that song. It's funny, but it'll creep you out at the same time, that's for sure. All right, so, I've got some sponsors of my podcast here, and one of them is Casa Maria in Watson. They're down here on 16 when we're sitting in Dental, but they're down there in Watson on the left. And, they got $2 tacos. Tuesday, you like that?
Oh, I love tacos.
Oh, you better love tacos, baby.
Taco Tuesday.
$2. $2. That's how I make you holler. I'm telling you. And then look, on Wednesday, the next day, half price pitcher margaritas.
No way.
Yeah, we can go there and we can go. I mean, it don't matter what time of day you can go. You just go over there and get your half price pitcher margaritas down there at Casa Maria in Watson. All right, so we need to see about going down there.
What you think? Liquid lunch.
That sounds good. Let's do that. All right.
And I know, he does a lot for the community.
Yeah, let's go into that real quick. Fahim is not only was my client, but he's more my friend than anything. Fahim and I are very, very tight and love him to death. And he is a community person, and he always give back to the community. I never forget when the pandemic hit. He was like everybody else, closed, but he made food for everybody that was trying to open up. He cooked for the workers of that establishment. So if you've got a seafood restaurant or a Chinese restaurant around him, he was serving the workers to keep them going. So it was really, really neat during the time. And we can say something about the community. I have I don't want to ever start a nonprofit organization, but I do have something called Cajun Ladies Crisis Team, and I established that. It's on my Facebook, and I established that back in 2017. And I don't necessarily put boots on the ground anymore because I did that prior to the flood and during the flood. I just have all the connections now to make things happen and pull them together, and that's where you and I also cross paths on that. You remember?
Yep.
You were like, Sondra, because I had put it out there. Here's the Amazon wish list, and here's what we need to happen. Here's what needs to happen. But Hurricane Ida, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All of you and myself, we were without electricity.
For like 9 days.
Yep. For 9 days. That was last year.
Yeah.
For 9 days, we were without electricity. But at my house, I have a in-home generator, so I fire up in 10 minutes or 10 seconds, and it's a blessing now. It used to be, I have other generators. But so I had a lot of friends come together, and we cooked jambalaya, and we served the workers. And it really caught on, and I think that's where you and I pulled together. And didn't you make like red beans and rice?
We made some hot dogs. Brought them some hot dogs.
That's right.
And then after that, I ended up coordinating lunches to be brought to that crew for like a good week straight until they went back home to Florida.
Yeah.
And we brought them some beer.
That's right.
And then in the lineman group, the wife was like, "All right, heifers," and I was like, "I'm that heifer."
Yeah, I know.
We just want our power turned on.
Right, and it was good. I mean, there's a lot of people in the community that I'll always help, and that we're here to help. But you've also got to take care of the linesmen at that time, and that's really what we were doing because people come from out of state to help us get back up on our feet. Right. So yeah, I remember that all week. We drove up and down, passed out those hot dogs, and I think it was chips. There's all kind of stuff that we did.
Yeah, we had several things for them. And I know Casa Maria, during like hurricanes and stuff, they'll bring food to the fire department right there. Mm-hmm. They feed the firefighters.
Yeah, so see, it's all about giving back. I always tell people, I'm not here to save the world, but if I can help one person at a time, I think I've done what I'm supposed to do, right? So giving back to the community is huge, 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 huge. So I don't want to talk about no more ghost stories and power on, power off shit. Give me the creeps, man. You gave me the creeps.
One of the very first times I showed a house was out off of
7 years ago is what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. It was one of the first houses that I had shown. Probably like actually my second or third, but I was brand new.
Brand new. I love hearing brand new stories of brand new people.
Off of Cloverleaf Drive over in Watson. Mm-hmm. And we showed this house, and we were all getting ready to leave, and I was so excited because they want to put in an offer. I was like, okay, well, my clients were parked behind me. They're sitting in the truck talking, and
wait. Here's the wrong. I just heard what you said. They were parked behind you?
Yeah.
Well, that's a no, but go ahead.
So I'm like, I was so excited they want to put an offer. I got to hurry up and get home. I went around them in the yard and got stuck. And so the first time I meet these people, brand new agent, luckily they had a friend who lived close by to bring them a rope, but they had to pull me out. They still bought a house with me. Not that house, but
not
that one. But so that it was kind of like embarrassing, funny.
Well, that is embarrassing and funny at the same time. But the thing is, you don't park. You never let your clients park behind you. Because what have you learned about that now?
Yeah. Now I know better. I know a lot of safety things better now.
Things, right.
I think another funny thing, just like small little stories, is when I was pregnant, I went door knocking for open houses to invite the neighborhood to come to my open house. I get out the car. I'm walking down the street. I knock on the first door, and I look down, and I have 2 different shoes on. Same type of shoe, just different colors. I was just like, what in the world?
People going to think you're drunk, not pregnant. Did you get dressed in the dark or something?
Pregnant. Shit. No, I don't know what happened. And then same pregnancy, I was showing some houses to some clients that were moving here from New York. So we're out. They got one day, and they want to see all these houses while they're here.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I'm starving. I'm pregnant. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I was ill prepared for snacks and stuff like that. So they get stuck at a red light. I get to this next house, and there's a fruit tree in the backyard.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Oranges.
Okay.
Oranges.
Right. He's hungry?
I was hungry.
He was that hungry?
So I rush in, and I'm turning on lights. I'm opening doors. I go out the back door, make sure the door's unlocked, and I see this beautiful orange tree, and I'm starving, right? And I'm pregnant. So I'm like, I think I got a few minutes. So I go and I pull an orange off this tree, and I'm like busting it open. I'm trying to hurry up and eat it. I don't know what this was, but it was not an orange. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. It was sour. It was I wanted to vomit, and I'm pregnant. So I'm like, immediately want to vomit. So I run it in the house. I open up the fridge. There's nothing in the fridge because this house is vacant. It's staged, but it's vacant. There's no water. I'm like, I'll just drink out the water faucet. So I turn on the kitchen sink. There's no water.
Oh, another house with no water.
Another house with no water. Those are the worst. And so I'm just like, what am I going to do? I want to vomit. This tastes horrible. I was fine 20 minutes ago at the last house. Now here I am, like, ready to vomit. They're gonna be like, what is wrong with you? And what do I say? I was so hungry that I
was trying to eat from the hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
So now I definitely keep snacks in my car at all times.
Right. Well, you usually you run with a basket.
Yeah. Or right. I've just learned to say, hey, guys, look, we've been at it all day. Let's stop and get some food instead of just trying to
push it.
Get it all. Yeah. I don't push it
But
anymore.
that's the adrenaline that you have when you're a new agent. Mm-hmm. You feel like you got a boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. And it's exciting to actually sell someone the biggest investment of their life. It really is. But it's also the biggest responsibility that you will have in your life.
True.
And there are a lot of agents still today that don't need to be an agent. And yeah, I'm the first to say that, and probably 100 other people. But will they say it publicly? I don't know. There are some people who need to get out this business. Okay. And I'll just give you a little prime example of what happened over a couple weekends ago. So I'm showing, and I don't normally show houses because I don't take on any new business. I'm all referrals. I've got my SOI, which means Sphere of Influence. So I've got a great database, and I'm very blessed and thankful for that. And so I took on this referral. And of course, I'm not going to name what parish it was in because I might give it away, but it was not this parish, and any parish was back that way. So it was that way. And so I was just curious, when you roll up to a piece of property and it's in a flood zone, because you can tell. Plus, you can also Google, you can do your research. But I just wasn't sure about the wetlands, And so I asked the listing agent, sent a little text, hey. And then she didn't, so I called and she answered. And I said, well, can you tell me, since this is about, 12 acres or so, can you tell me, it looks like there's some wetlands on this property. And she was like, well, it's AE. I'm like, no, I didn't ask for the flood zone. I asked for the wetlands. I don't know what that is. And so you don't want, and it's been on the market for over 200 days. So it's not like that question probably hasn't been asked to a listing agent. But if you don't understand something or know something in this business, you should get definitely with your broker and have them explain what the wetlands is. First 5 acres are free with the U.S. Corps of Engineer. Mm-hmm. To mitigate or litigate against a 1 acre is $25,000. People don't even know that. They're like, well, I found these 12 acres over here off the interstate. I think I'm going to build my house right there. Really? See all them damn palmettos? That's the first sign we got. That doesn't mean that it's wetlands. But then what if it's thick? What if it needs to be thinned out because the sun's not reaching down to dry it out? There's a lot of things that play factor, but I just can't handle it when an agent represents that seller, and it's been way over 200 days. Now, there's 365 days in a year. You know that, huh? You should have found something.
I didn't know that. Look, I just learned something from you.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. But what I'm saying is, it's been more than 6 months. You should at least go ahead and ask a bunch of questions. So don't ever take on something you can't handle, or because you're going to have questions. People are going to have a lot of questions on it. I mean, that's just how I believe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You've ran across this, haven't you? You've had to help a lot of agents, right?
Yeah, I helped you learn what a red sign was.
I didn't know what a red sign was. That's right. I never really, I saw red signs in our parish, but I didn't know what the hell that mean.
Yeah.
So, you have something to learn all the time. But when you're actually talking to somebody, you're trying to describe what wetlands is, and they don't even know what the word is, that's when somebody needs to back up and really help them people.
Yeah. I mean, I think in real estate, things are always changing. We're always learning something new. Our purchase agreements are being rewritten again.
I know.
For 2024, or they may even change it on us mid-year. And we just had some changes last year. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, even being in the business for 7 years, I just recently learned more things about wetlands from one of my own agents a few months ago.
It's crazy. That's always going to change. You know, Amanda, when I got in this business, our purchase agreements were 2 pages, front and back.
And now we're 10 pages.
10 pages. Yeah, 10 pages, because we got to talk about everything, every little thing, from the damn picture on the wall. I don't know. Back then, we sold houses. They had 4 walls and a roof. And they had some shitters in there, right? And a couple showers, right? We didn't sell. I mean, Amanda, think about this. I didn't sell. I never received purchase agreements back then that said, okay, we would like to keep, please let the refrigerator remain, the washer, the dryer. Tell you what, we like that sofa over there. How about that silverware? Come on. I mean, we didn't sell everything with the house. I mean, nowadays, it's just totally, everybody asks for all that nowadays. I think it's nuts. If you're gonna start your own Airbnb, don't buy a house. You know, if you're gonna buy a house, buy the supplies you need for it, right? I mean, you shouldn't even be in the anyway. It pisses me off when I get purchase agreements like that. I'm just like, I just want you to personally know that.
Okay, well, I will note that for next time we do a deal. I'm gonna ask. I'll have my client ask for the nails in the wall. You will be the one to be sarcastic with me and say, "Okay, Sondra, we want everything down that bicycle in the backyard, bitch." Yeah, that would be you. But I'm good with it because I like to collaborate and have a lot of collaboration with a lot of different agents at many different brokerages. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I have a question about what y'all have going on, we've had several conversations before. We
have, and that's the way you should be. Transparency in this business will do what? Get you a long ways, period. This is not the car business. I hate when people compare a realtor to a car salesman because we're not. We're not. I used to be a car salesman for 18 years.
Really?
Sure did.
Didn't know that.
And you know what? I was on the new car side, and I hated that side. I loved the used car side because you know why? If I had a 1965 Mustang that was pink with purple polka dots and it was convertible, that's the only bitch that you couldn't shop it, right? So I could get what I needed for it. And then it didn't matter if it had an engine or no engine or it leaked or didn't leak. I didn't give a shit. I just sold it.
You had one with pink and purple polka dots?
Well, I'm just saying. No, I didn't have one like that.
I'm just got a picture? Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying is there's only one of a kind. But when you're selling a home, in a house, and you've got to disclose everything that your seller actually your seller tells you. And they got no saying in this business. I don't know if you ever heard of this. Buyers are liars and sellers are worse. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard it. I think what a lot of people also don't know, or maybe they know, but maybe they've forgotten, is if you go under contract and you get that house inspected and the seller is presented with some defects that they didn't know, you have to change that property disclosure. Once you are made aware, you have to go back and now you know.
Now I know.
Now you know.
But, sometimes sellers aren't aware of everything.
Correct.
And then I'm going to go back and flip on the backside, and sometimes inspectors ain't all that in a bag of chips
That's
either.
True, too.
There are brand new inspectors versus even the older inspectors. But then there's inspectors that are not, they're just qualified in a general area. You want to know something about an AC or a roof, you need to talk to what?
A specialist.
A specialist, an AC specialist or a roof specialist. A general inspector can generally inspect and give you their opinion.
Their opinion on it, yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's just an opinion. So you definitely need to, it's kind of like going to the heart doctor. I'm not going to go see the dentist for my heart.
Right? I mean, you could.
You're crazy. But I'm not going to, is what I'm saying. So, and that's what I tell all of my buyers. I'm like, okay, y'all can hire this general inspector. That's exactly what he is, A to Z. And he's going to have opinions. But if you want to know about the structural part or the mechanical parts, you need to hire people in specific, the AC people, the roofers. Because, some of those general inspectors, they'll shoot it down. They'll have an opinion. Hey, that roof's only got 3 years left. Who the hell made them the specialist of a roof when they're a general inspector? I mean, unless they're a roofer, right?
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that, for another crazy story that just came to mind. A friend of mine bought a house in Laplace.
Where's Laplace?
Laplace is...
For the listeners, they don't know.
Yeah, it's on the other side of Prairieville, like we were talking about earlier, before, what is that? That's not the Causeway. What is that? Lake Pontchartrain.
Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's down there. It's a pretty good little drive from here.
Is.
But at least we're not crossing the bridge to get there. That bridge takes a long time.
That's why it's the longest bridge. But go ahead.
The worst part of going to New Orleans is the bridge.
Uh-huh.
I feel like every time I come back from there, there's a car on fire on the bridge.
Why you got to talk about that?
I don't know.
Car on fire.
And nobody knows about it. It never makes it on
It's the longest bridge. It's the long. I mean,
I know.
by the time you get there, shit's on fire. But go ahead.
All right. So we had an inspection done, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
And everything was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing came up. She moves in. We're all happy. First time it rains, it looks like Niagara Falls in her sunroom. I'm not talking about a little drip drip. I'm talking about
in her sunroom. So
in
the
her
addition.
sunroom. In the addition, yep.
Okay.
Looks like Niagara Falls coming through. We get it.
This is after closing? Or
After closing. She's
but the
moved
inspector inspected
Yep.
it? Is it only one
Everything was
inspector or
fine.
did she have specialists?
No, we just had one inspection done.
right.
Everything was good with the roof. It looked like a newer roof. So we're like, okay, cool. But what had happened was when they installed this roof, they didn't do it properly. They just nailed these shingles on to the tin that was there before the shingles. So the shingles were just there for looks.
Right, so they didn't put the correct flashing to make it flow out. So it just rained through her
It
sunroom?
just rained through her sunroof.
That's not
Sunroom.
sunroom. Yeah, but that's not.
It was not cool. Well, there was nothing that we really could do. I mean, obviously she had to get it fixed. But at that point, we had to prove that the seller knew, and I don't feel like.
But did the seller know?
That's the thing.
We still don't know.
We still don't know.
You're not gonna know.
Yep. It's all.
Sound like you should have had a roofer also injected.
We should have. Yeah.
That's why it goes back to what I said earlier. You know, you can hire a general inspector, but there's nothing wrong with having a roofer look at it, AC guy look at it, and a plumber look at it. Why would you do that? You got X amount of days to do it. Just do it.
Yeah. So
and you can get things in writing from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right. So I've got a second sponsor of the podcast, and it's called Southern Rhythm Venue and Entertainment. They're down here on 16. You ever been there?
I have not been there.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. They take pride in providing the best venue and entertainment place down there. And let me tell you something. I love it. I love going there. It's clean. Okay. It's smoke free. And when you go into the women's restroom, there's all the amenities there. Blow dryer, lotions.
They got good toilet paper?
Yeah. Yeah, they got good toilet paper. Yes, because they have clean bathrooms. That's right. They have all the amenities in there. And then if you want to smoke, you have to go outside on the back patio, and they've got fireplaces out there in case it's,
oh, that's nice.
cold, and people can smoke out there. Here's the good thing. There's many, all the live bands are open on Friday and Saturday, okay? And they have a lot of good live bands. Chase Tyler's played there. Mm-hmm. This month it's going to be Confederate Railroad. That's a big, huge band. And then, you know Wayne Tubes? Okay, well, he'll be there too. So when I say that Southern Rhythm Venue and Entertainment books some really nice big bands, they do. And it's really, really nice. They got VIP sections up above that you can rent in case you didn't want to be down with the crowd. And let's just say you go with a bunch of girls. It's a girls' night out, right? All of y'all married. So you go and you see a show and you want to leave. There's also security outside that will walk you to your car. Make sure everything's all
nice.
good. So,
Good.
yeah, so you need to get down there to Southern Rhythm Venue and Entertainment. I tell you what, I'll take you down there because it's in our neck of the woods. It's down there past Watson.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we have liquid lunch at Casa Maria.
That's right. That's right. She's a blaze up girl. All right, so look, in my 25 years here, I've come across some crazy shit, and it sounds like you've come across some stupid shit yourself.
Or I've just done stupid shit.
Well, it's okay, but it's okay. It's okay this is how you. They always say you live and you learn, right? And you're to grow from what you've learned, and all you can do is get better. Because if you fail at something, all you can do is get better.
That's right.
If you learn from it to make yourself better.
Hey, let me ask you this: have you ever shown a house that was for rent, where the tenant keeps locking you out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever? Yeah. When you've asked me, so a tenant that's in a house that you're trying to show
For sale. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they tell the seller, landlord, oh, I don't have any dogs. Well, they've lied, because they're always having to hide the dog from when the landlord goes by to inspect his property if he does that. But I did that one time. I got attacked by a pit bull.
A dog?
Yeah, just
Wow.
I still have the scars and everything on my back from where it attached, and it was a little bitty pit bull. And but I don't care. I don't like pit bulls. Period. So yeah, I've gone through some crazy shit, especially when because tenants don't take care of the property. It's really that simple. There are very few handfuls. So maybe I shouldn't put them all in the same cereal bowl, but there's very few of them because they don't own a piece of America. I think it's really nice with what we do because we make sure that not only make their dreams come true, right? We make people's dreams come true, but we also making sure they own a piece of America. And in my book, I like Americans owning American land, right? So, what the hell are you laughing at?
You.
All right. Well, listen, Amanda, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks.
I really do.
Thanks for having me.
I think it's been fun. It's going to be all over the place. You just got to share all this, and y'all, maybe you'll come back again. I don't know, Amanda Boudreaux. What you think?
We'll see.
We'll see.
If you're nice.
If I'm nice.
Yeah, and take me to Casa and
when we'll go boogie down there and see Wayne Toops maybe at the Southern Rhythm. Okay, we'll do that. All right, y'all. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.